AITA for pulling a dumb prank on my girlfriend and ruining her night? I'm a 25-year-old guy and my girlfriend is 24. Before I tell you what happened, you need to understand something first. She's literally the best person I've ever met. Sweet, smart, absolutely gorgeous, and she cracks the funniest jokes. I swear I hit the lottery with her. She makes everything better just by being around. And if I ever lost her, I don't think I'd ever really get over it. That's what makes this whole thing even worse. Because ever since it happened, I've felt like absolute crap. Me and her, we're always messing around. It's kind of our thing. We love pulling dumb little pranks on each other. Harmless stuff that makes us laugh until our stomachs hurt. Like the time she swapped all the songs on my Spotify playlist with cursed meme tracks. Or the time I snuck weird filters onto her phone camera so every selfie she took gave her alien eyes. Or hiding those stupid fake spiders under each other's pillows just to hear the other person shriek for half a second. It's childish, sure, but it's fun. It keeps things light. We laugh a lot. Probably more than most people do. But this time I seriously screwed up. Like, badly. Yesterday, I got home from work feeling kinda hyper for no reason. Bored. In one of those dumb, let's prank her moods. And I came up with this genius idea to hide in the laundry closet and jump out to scare her when she got back from the gym. I thought it'd be hilarious. A quick spook, she'd laugh, I'd laugh, and we'd move on like always, right? Nope, not even close. She came in the door looking totally worn out, sweaty from the gym, holding a smoothie in one hand and her big tote bag in the other. Before she could even take 2 steps inside, I jumped out like an idiot and yelled boo as loud as I could. She screamed, like proper horror movie screamed. I've never heard her make a sound like that before. The smoothie went flying all over her leggings and her gym top. The tote bag hit the floor and her phone clattered out, face down on the tile with a horrible cracking sound. I just stood there frozen like the world's biggest idiot. And then she started crying, not laughing, not playfully hitting me on the arm like usual. Real crying. She dropped to the floor, sat there staring at her busted phone and her ruined clothes, and the tears just started pouring down her face. She said she'd had the worst day ever. Her boss yelled at her for something she didn't even do. The gym sucked. Her smoothie cost like $9 and now it was everywhere. And her phone, which she needed for work, was cracked. And then this, me jumping out and scaring the life out of her the second she walked in the door. I immediately apologized, like nonstop. Told her I was so sorry, that I didn't mean to upset her, that I was just being stupid and trying to make her laugh. But she didn't want to hear it. She told me to leave her the hell alone. She grabbed her cracked phone, got up, and locked herself in the bathroom for like an hour. Since then, she's barely said a word to me. When I try to apologize again, she just turns away or ignores me completely. No eye contact, no smiles, nothing. And I feel awful, like seriously sick to my stomach with guilt. I never wanted to make her cry. I never wanted to hurt her. It was just a dumb, thoughtless prank that went completely wrong. And now she probably thinks I'm the world's biggest jackass. So AITA for this prank? Or am I just a dumb dude who took the joke way too far? Story 2. AITA for straight up telling my mom that she robbed my half-sister's inheritance and that's why grandpa cut me out of his will. I'm 18 now. When I was 10, my dad passed away. He had another daughter from before, my half-sister Emily, who was 14 at the time. Her mom had been out of the picture for years, so when dad died, Emily had no one left but us. Dad left everything to my mom. His life insurance, the house, the savings, everything. I think he did it because he trusted her. He believed she would take care of both of us, me and Emily. But my mom made it very clear, very fast, that Emily was not her responsibility. I remember hearing her say, plain as day, she's not mine, not my problem. So instead of raising Emily like dad probably wanted, my mom packed her up and sent her off to some distant relatives on my dad's side. People Emily barely knew. And my mom kept everything, every dime. Emily didn't get a single cent. No part of the life insurance. No part of the house. Nothing. She was cut out like she never existed. It was cold. Ruthless. Really. But that was that. Time moved on. Emily grew up with those relatives. I stayed with mom. Fast forward to this year. My grandpa, my dad's dad, announced his will. He's splitting everything 3 ways among his kids. Fair enough. But when it came to my dad's share, grandpa said it's all going to Emily. Not me. Not my mom. Just Emily. He told us, straight up, that she got screwed over by my mom, and he was making it right. In his exact words, she deserved what was stolen from her. He even pulled me aside and told me not to take it personally. He said I'd get mom's things someday, that my future was safe. But this was to fix what my mom broke. When my mom found out, she lost her mind, screaming about how it was unfair, how my dad had chosen her to inherit everything and grandpa was going against dad's wishes. She actually called a lawyer, tried to fight it, said she had every right to that money, that grandpa was betraying the family. I couldn't take it. I snapped. I told her, flat out, maybe if you didn't steal what was meant for Emily, grandpa wouldn't be doing this. She went ballistic, said I was ungrateful, said I was spitting on my dad's memory, said I was turning against my own mother to side with grandpa and Emily. But standing there, listening to her lose it, all I could think was, am I wrong? Am I really the bad guy for seeing this for what it is? AITA? Story 3. AITA for refusing to write Happy Father's Day to my grandpa? I'm 17, turning 18 next week, and for the past 6 years there's been this weird thing my mom expects from me every single Father's Day. My dad passed away when I was 11 after a long fight with ALS. Before he got sick, things were normal, or at least as normal as they could be. We were a regular family. I had my dad, my mom, and that was that. But ever since he died, my mom has this idea that I should give my grandfather, her dad, a Father's Day card, like he's supposed to somehow fill that space and be my new father figure or something. The thing is, I never did that before my dad got sick. Not once. I never thought of Grandpa as anything close to a dad. He's just Grandpa. Always has been. Every single year since my dad passed away, I've told her no. Every year she flips out about it, says I'm ungrateful, says I don't appreciate what he's done for us. Then she storms off and gives me the silent treatment for the rest of the day. And honestly, maybe I am ungrateful. I don't know. It's true that Grandpa has let us live in his house ever since I was 9. It's true that he's helped us. I get that. I'm not pretending he hasn't done things for us, but that doesn't make him my dad. He never was. He never will be. It's not like we even do anything for my actual dad on Father's Day. No flowers. No visit to where he's buried. No talking about him. No nothing. It's like he's been erased. Like he didn't even exist. And I'm supposed to just sit there and smile and write some sweet little note to Grandpa like everything's fine and this is normal? Like this is how it's supposed to be? Maybe I'm just bitter. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I should just shut up and sign the stupid card and pretend it doesn't bother me. But every time I pick up that pen it feels fake. Like I'm lying. Like I'm helping to erase my real dad even more. And I can't make myself do it. So AITA? Story 4. AITA for not wanting friends at all? I'm 19 years old, and to be completely honest, I've never cared much about making friends in the place where I live. I know that sounds strange to some people because everyone always assumes that you're supposed to have this big circle of friends, this social life full of group chats and parties and endless hangouts, but for me, that was never the goal. I've always stuck to my own lane, minded my own business, and done my own things. I like playing chess when I get the time, reading books, scrolling through random apps on my phone, watching weird videos that probably no one else in my area even thinks about. I don't care for small talk. I don't care for going out just to stand around making noise with people I barely know. And I definitely don't see the point in sitting somewhere for hours just to fill the time, so it looks like I'm doing something social. It's simply not my thing. It never has been. Even back in school I was like this. While everyone else was running around trying to make plans for the weekend, or begging to be invited to someone's birthday thing, or sitting in lunch groups gossiping about whatever drama was happening, I was fine sitting at the back, doing my own thing, letting them have their noise while I enjoyed the quiet. Some of them thought it was weird. Some teachers even asked if everything was okay at home. Like being quiet meant something had to be wrong, but really it was just how I liked life. Even now that I'm in college, it's not much different. Sure, there are some old schoolmates I've kept in touch with, a couple of guys from classes that I'll text now and then if I really need to, but that's it. I don't have this big friend group everyone assumes you're supposed to have by now. And honestly, that's enough for me. It's more than enough. But every time someone new shows up, maybe a neighbor or a classmate or someone I run into somewhere, they always end up asking that same question. So who's your gang here? They say with a smile, like the answer should be obvious. And when I just shrug and say, no one, you'd think I told them I was carrying some disease or confessed to being from another planet. They always pause, give me that look, the one that says they're trying to figure out what's broken inside me that I'm standing here not surrounded by people. Then the questions start. Why don't you hang out with anyone? Why are you so quiet? What's wrong with you? Why are you always alone? It gets awkward fast, every single time, like they expect some big dramatic story about being bullied or betrayed or something tragic that explains why I enjoy being by myself. Like they need to hear I've been hurt to understand why I'm not dying to be in someone's friend circle. But there's nothing like that. There's no sad story, no secret pain, no loneliness eating away at me when the door closes at night. The truth is, I just like being by myself. I like the quiet. I like the peace of sitting alone and thinking about things. I like reading for hours without anyone interrupting. I like working on things I enjoy without having to check my phone every 5 minutes because someone's texting me about some pointless drama I don't care about. I like being able to plan my day without wondering what other people want from me or what time they want to meet or where they want to drag me. It makes me feel clear-headed, like my thoughts are actually mine, like I can listen to myself for once instead of the noise of everyone else's opinions and wants and endless talking. And I get that some people can't understand that. To them, being alone means being sad. Being quiet means something's wrong. They think if you're not constantly surrounded by people, you must be lonely or broken or missing out on life. But I'm not. I feel more alive in the quiet than I ever do in a crowd. I feel more like myself sitting in a room by myself than I ever have standing in a group trying to keep up with small talk. I don't need to explain that to them, but it's always there in the air. The awkward pause when I say I have no gang, no squad, no crew. Like they think I'm confessing something terrible. But to me, it's not terrible at all. It's the way I like things. It's the way I've always liked things. And honestly, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Not for some friend group, not for some party invite, not for any of the things they think I'm missing. Because I'm not missing anything. I've already got exactly what I want. Still, AITA for being like this? Should I change? Before we move on to the next story, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, tell us your favorite story in the comments. And if you have your own story to share, let us know down there too. Story 5. AITA for needing space from a friend stuck in a toxic relationship, even though she helped me when I was struggling. I'm 28 and about a year and a half ago, I ended what was honestly one of the most brutal relationships I've ever been in. It completely drained me in every way possible, emotionally, mentally, even physically. I felt like I was drowning in this toxic mess and didn't know how to get out. I was at my absolute lowest point when my friend Trish stepped in and completely changed everything for me. She didn't just offer a few kind words or listen politely. She went full force. She called out my ex for exactly how he treated me, the way he manipulated me, and how he made me feel worthless. She backed me up when I felt like I couldn't stand anymore and when I thought nobody cared or understood what I was going through. Honestly, she saved my sanity. Without her, I don't know if I would have made it through that dark time. Thanks to her, I was able to start putting the pieces of myself back together slowly but surely. Now, fast forward to today, I'm finally in a good place. I'm stable, I'm genuinely happy, and I have a partner who treats me with respect and kindness, someone who actually makes me feel safe and loved. Life feels normal and peaceful, which is something I never thought I'd experience again after everything I went through. But here's where things get complicated. While I was rebuilding my life, Trish fell into her own nightmare with her fiancé Greg. From the outside, it might seem like they're just a couple with some issues, but it's way worse than that. Greg is controlling in every sense of the word. He's verbally abusive, constantly angry, and keeps her isolated. She's basically trapped in this toxic cycle, and it's breaking my heart to watch. She leans on me all the time, and I mean nonstop. She dumps emotional baggage on me constantly, venting about fights, how hopeless everything feels, how she doesn't know what to do. It's like I'm living through her pain again, except this time it's even more intense than what I experienced. I see the way Greg controls who she talks to, where she goes, and it's clear she's almost completely isolated from everyone except me. What's worse is that she's admitted she's emotionally depending on another guy, someone outside of her relationship, but she still won't leave Greg. She's stuck, and no matter what I say or how much I try to encourage her, she refuses to take any real steps to change her situation. And that puts me in such a difficult position. I want to support her because she was there for me when I was broken, when I felt completely alone. I owe her so much for what she did for me back then. But her constant crisis mode, her refusal to help herself, and the emotional chaos she drags me into is wrecking my peace. I fought so hard to find calm and happiness again, and now it feels like all of that is slipping away because I'm exhausted from carrying her pain on top of my own. I've been seriously thinking about pulling back, answering her less, creating some distance so I can protect my own mental health. But the guilt is crushing. How do I step back from someone who was literally my rock when I had nothing? Especially when she's so isolated and has no one else left. Plus, Greg is a nightmare in his own right. He's a cheater, creepy, jealous, and controlling to the extreme. I worry about what he's doing behind the scenes and how much he's manipulating her. She's basically stuck in this toxic bubble, and I'm the only person outside of that bubble who she trusts. It's heartbreaking because I want her to be free and happy, but she won't move. She won't break the cycle. Watching her suffer and knowing I can't do much to help is painful beyond words. So here I am, torn between wanting to be there for my friend and needing to save myself from getting dragged back into darkness. It's a nightmare watching her stay stuck in that relationship, leaning on me emotionally and refusing to fight for herself. And I'm just trying to figure out how to survive this without losing myself all over again. So, AITA if I step back for my own sanity? And if not, how do I set limits without feeling like I'm betraying someone who once saved me? Story 6. AITA for falling for my sister's fiancé and kissing him back? I'm 20 years old, and I've always been the kind of person who turns heads wherever I go. I'm confident, loud, and a little reckless, the type of person who never really thinks twice before speaking or acting. My sister, on the other hand, is almost my complete opposite. She's 29, calm, serious, and always seems to be in control of every situation. We've never been super close, not the kind of sisters who share secrets or hang out just the two of us. It's more like we have this clear boundary between us, respect respectful but distant. We live different lives, have different friends, and honestly, I never expected our paths to really cross beyond the occasional family event. Then Mark came along. Mark is her fiancé. I first noticed him at a family party. He's tall, with sharp features and this kind of smoldering, intense look that immediately caught my attention. I couldn't help but feel this strange pull when I saw him for the first time, and I remember feeling this weird mix of attraction and discomfort. When my sister introduced him, my stomach sank because he was hers. He was supposed to be the one she was going to marry, but something about the way he looked at me, this quiet but piercing look, made my skin crawl in a way I couldn't explain. Over the next few weeks, Mark became a constant presence at every family gathering. At first, it was just casual. He laughed at my jokes, which was surprising because he was usually so serious. But then he started finding reasons to be near me, subtle touches on my arm that lasted a moment longer than necessary, intense eye contact that felt like he was trying to say something without words. He never crossed the obvious line, nothing overt, but the tension was always there, thick and impossible to ignore. I kept telling myself to resist, reminding myself that he was off limits. He was my sister's fiancé, and no matter what feelings I had to stay away. But the more I tried, the harder it got. Then came the night of his birthday dinner. We had all been drinking, the atmosphere was loose, and eventually, everyone else left the room except for the two of us. We found ourselves alone in the kitchen, the noise of the party muffled behind closed doors. Suddenly, Mark was confessing things to me. He said I was driving him crazy and admitted that even though he was supposed to marry my sister, he wasn't so sure anymore. I remember the way his voice shook with a mix of confusion and desire. Then he kissed me, and I didn't pull away. I kissed him back, even though I knew it was wrong. It was electric and chaotic all at once. A surge of guilt and longing collided in that moment, but none of it stopped me from giving in to what I was feeling. When we finally pulled apart, the silence was heavy and unbearable. The next day, the weight of what had happened crushed me. I couldn't keep it inside anymore. I told my sister everything. Her reaction was immediate and brutal. She slapped me hard and called me every name you can imagine. Then she cut me off completely. Our family was shattered. My parents were divided between them. The relatives whispered behind closed doors, and Mark kept saying he was confused and sorry. Now, everything feels broken and messy. I don't know if I'm just selfish or something worse. I loved my sister, and at the same time, I fell for her fiancé and let it happen. I don't know what the future holds, but I do know that nothing will ever be the same again. So, AITA for wanting what I shouldn't have even touched? Story 7. AITA for ending things with my grieving girlfriend? I'm 28 years old, and I've been with my girlfriend, who's also 28, for about 4 years now. When we first got together, things felt promising. We were young, hopeful, and ready to build a future together. I genuinely cared about her, and I still do. But over the past year, I've been seriously struggling with whether to stay or leave. It's not like there was a sudden falling out or a huge fight that changed everything. It's more like slowly, over time, she's become someone I barely recognize. After a car accident she had 2 years ago, she just hasn't been the same. Before that, she was more motivated, she had plans, and she at least had some kind of drive to move forward in life. But ever since the accident, she's been stuck in this rut. She only works a part-time job that barely pays for anything, and honestly, it feels like she's just going through the motions. No ambition, no goals, no real desire to improve her situation. It's frustrating because I'm working hard. I hold down a full-time job that I take seriously, and I'm also studying full-time on the side. I'm trying to build a career and create a stable life for myself, but it feels like she's holding me back or just not on the same page. We both still live with our parents because rent is insanely high where we live, but I'm at least trying to push forward. I want more out of life. I've tried to talk to her about the future, about what we want and where we're headed, but every time I bring it up, she just shuts me down. It's like she doesn't want to face it, or maybe she's afraid. I don't know. Then, a few months ago, her sister passed away. That really hit her hard, and since then, she's become even more distant. She's cold, barely talks, and snaps at me or anyone else for the smallest things. It's like she's carrying this weight that I can't help with, and it's breaking me down too. I feel trapped because I love her and I want to support her through the grief, but at the same time, I'm losing hope. We haven't grown together in years. We haven't moved forward as a couple or as individuals. I want stability. I want marriage, kids, a home where we can build memories and a future, but right now, I just can't see that with her. It feels impossible. Breaking up feels like the hardest thing because I know she's still hurting, but I can't keep putting my life on hold waiting for her to find herself. It's a horrible feeling because part of me wants to stay and help, but another part knows that if things don't change, we're just wasting time. I'm stuck between wanting to be there for her and wanting a future that feels real and possible. It's the worst kind of limbo, and I honestly don't know what to do next. So, AITA for wanting out while she's grieving? Story 8. AITA for yelling at my wife after catching her cheating and making her cry. I'm 28 years old, married to my wife who's 30, and we've been together for almost 6 years. We've got 2 kids, a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. I work insane hours at a factory just to keep everything afloat while she stays home with the kids. She's always been a great mom and, for the most part, a decent wife, or at least that's what I used to think. But lately, something just felt off. It was little things at first. She started acting weird, dodging simple questions, over-explaining things that didn't even matter. Like one day I asked why she forgot to do the laundry, and suddenly I got this long, drawn-out story about how the youngest spilled juice everywhere, and she had to clean the whole kitchen. But the clothes she washed were totally fine. No stains, no smell of juice. And then I thought about how our oldest spends most of the day building Legos or coloring. There was no reason for all this extra laundry, and there was a lot more than usual, like way more. When I asked, she said the baby spilled again, but something about that didn't make sense. Then came the phone calls. She'd never been weird about her phone before, but suddenly, she started leaving the room to answer it. Every time, I'd walk toward the bedroom, and she'd get all nervous, like she'd just been caught doing something. She never used to do that. Even the neighbors started acting different, making little jokes and side comments when they saw me. At the time, I thought they were just messing around, but looking back, I think they probably knew. Last Friday was when everything broke. I told her I'd be working until midnight, but I left early, didn't call, didn't text, just came home quiet, through the back door. When I stepped inside, my oldest was passed out on the couch with the TV still on. Upstairs, I heard it, the bed, squeaking. No mistaking that sound. My heart dropped. I went up, kicked the bedroom door open, and there they were. My wife, some guy I didn't even know. Both of them froze, like deer in headlights. I lost it. Started screaming at him to get the hell out of my house. Told her she disgusted me. She chased me outside, crying and sobbing in the driveway, screaming that it was my fault, that I was never home, that I made her feel invisible, that if I hadn't worked so much, this wouldn't have happened. I told her she could have worked too. She could have helped pay the bills, so I didn't have to kill myself at the plant every single day just to keep us afloat. But no, instead she chose this. I told her we were done. I wanted a divorce. I wanted the kids. She broke down even worse, loud enough that the neighbors came out to watch. I left, grabbed my bag, drove to my buddy's house, and I've been staying there ever since, just waiting for the papers to go through. So, AITA for snapping at her and making her cry after what she did. Before we move on to the next story, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, tell us your favorite story in the comments, and if you have your own story to share, let us know down there too. Story 9. AITA for getting frustrated every time my girlfriend drags me shopping? I know this might sound silly, but hear me out. My girlfriend seriously loves shopping, like, way too much. It's not just the usual quick trip to grab something she needs. It's more like a full-on expedition that can last for hours. Last weekend was a perfect example. She asked me to drive her to this big discount store that she had been wanting to check out for a while. I was fine with it at first because I figured it would be a quick trip, maybe an hour or so, but it turned into something completely different. She disappeared inside the store and didn't come out for nearly 4 hours. I sat in the car the whole time, just waiting. At first, I tried to stay patient. I told myself she must be finding some good deals, or maybe she's comparing prices on a lot of stuff. But after about 2 hours, I started getting bored and restless. I messaged her, telling her that I was bored and asked if she could please finish soon because I was losing my mind just sitting there. She replied saying she would, but then she kept browsing for almost 2 more hours. It felt like she was in her own little world, completely lost among the aisles and shelves, and I was just stuck outside waiting. Now, today is Father's Day, and I was really hoping we could spend some quality time together away from all that. I thought maybe we could just hang out, do something simple and relaxing. But nope, it's the exact same story all over again. She has been shopping nonstop. First, she dragged me to this tiny thrift store, which I thought wouldn't take long, but she ended up spending 2 whole hours inside while I waited outside again. I stood there, watching people come and go, checking my phone, trying to find ways to pass the time, but it just felt like I was completely invisible. Then, just when I thought we might finally be done, she decided she wanted to go to another big store. So here we are again, and I can feel my patience wearing thin. I'm honestly starting to get annoyed, and it's tough because I don't want to be the bad guy. I know some people might handle this differently, or maybe they even enjoy waiting while their partner shops. But for me, it's frustrating, especially when I've told her before that if she's going to take this long, maybe she should go shopping alone. Sometimes she could be out for 6 or 7 hours straight if I don't say anything. It's like I'm there just to be a chauffeur and a bored spectator, and it's starting to make me rethink how we spend time together. I love her, but I also want to feel like my time matters and that we can enjoy each other's company without me feeling stuck waiting forever while she shops. So, ATA for being upset when she drags me along on these marathon shopping trips? Story 10. AITA for refusing to let my dad touch my college savings? I'm 19 now, but this whole disaster started when I was 15, and it's been burned into my memory ever since, like some bad dream I can't wake up from. My dad, who was 49 at the time, sat me and my mom down one evening at the dinner table and dropped the biggest bomb I'd ever heard in my life. He said he wasn't happy anymore. Just like that. No warning signs that I could see, no big fights, no shouting matches late at night, nothing that gave away that our family was about to be torn apart. It was like the ground disappeared under us all at once. My mom stared at him, completely stunned, like she couldn't believe what she was hearing. I didn't understand it either. I mean, what did that even mean? He wasn't happy? After 20 years of marriage? After raising me together? It didn't make sense. Until the truth came out. Turns out he'd been cheating on my mom with some woman named Brianna. She was 30 years old, 19 years younger than him, and apparently just young enough and exciting enough for him to throw his entire family away without blinking. He'd been sneaking around with her for months behind my mom's back, going out on business trips that were really just weekends with her, coming home late, lying to our faces, looking us in the eyes like everything was normal. And as if that betrayal wasn't enough, the real slap in the face came when we found out he had given my mom an STD. I didn't even want to think about the details of that. Just the idea of it made my skin crawl. The humiliation, the danger, the violation. My mom didn't deserve that. No one does. After that day, I never looked at him the same way again. He used to be my dad, the guy who taught me how to ride a bike, helped me with my math homework, cheered at my soccer games. But that man was gone. All I saw now was a selfish, cowardly stranger who had destroyed everything good we had. My mom, though, my mom is the strongest person I've ever met. She didn't fall apart. She didn't scream or break down or curse him out the way she should have. She held herself together for me. She picked up the pieces and went back to work like nothing happened. She took on 2 jobs. She worked long shifts at the hospital, then came home to run an online business late into the night. Weekends, holidays, overtime shifts, whatever she could get. Every dollar she made, she saved, and all of it went into a fund for my future. For college, she kept saying she wanted me to have choices. Freedom, the kind of life she never got to have because she married too young and spent her best years putting her dreams on hold for a man who threw her away. She told me that money was for me, so I could go to any school I wanted, start any career I dreamed of, and not be trapped the way she was. I didn't know how she did it. I'd see her come home exhausted, dark circles under her eyes, her feet sore from standing all day, and she'd still smile at me and ask if I needed anything. Also, I could have a chance at something better. Recently, I got news that felt like a miracle. I landed a full scholarship, full ride, tuition, books, everything covered. I could hardly believe it. I felt like I could finally breathe, and I thought, maybe now mom can use that money for herself, fix up the house that's falling apart, take a real vacation for once, sleep in on a weekend, live her life a little. She deserved that much and more. But then my dad called, out of nowhere. He hadn't bothered to reach out in months, maybe longer, but suddenly he was on my phone again like we were some normal family. He said Brianna was pregnant. They were having a baby, but the baby had serious health problems. The doctors said the baby probably wouldn't survive long after birth unless they tried this insanely expensive surgery. The kind of surgery that costs more than most people make in a year. And guess what he wanted? He wanted me to give him part of my college fund to help pay for it. The fund my mom broke her back for. The fund she sacrificed everything to build. He actually had the nerve to ask me for that. I couldn't believe it. I thought maybe he was joking, but he wasn't. He was serious. Dead serious. He said they were desperate, that this was life or death, that I could save this baby, his new baby, with the woman he threw away our family for. I told him no. I told him hell no. I said he could go ask Grandpa for help, but Grandpa already cut him off after the affair. He won't even answer my dad's calls. None of the family wants anything to do with him anymore. So now my dad is calling me nonstop, leaving voicemails, sending texts, telling me I'm selfish, heartless, cold, that I'm letting an innocent baby die. But you know what? Maybe I am cold. Maybe I am heartless, because I don't feel guilty. Not even a little. This isn't my problem to fix. My mom didn't work herself to death so that I could hand everything over to the people who broke her heart. She didn't give up years of her life so I could throw that money away on the man who destroyed ours. I don't care how desperate he is. I don't care how sick that baby is. I'm not responsible for cleaning up his mess. He made his choices. He picked his life. He left us for it. And now he can live with what he chose. So, the AITA for saying no. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell us your favorite story in the comments, and feel free to share your own story too.